𝗪ज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्येष्टार्नो। Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so yesterday we discussed first 3 verses of Damodarashtakam, and I was telling that every pastime has infinite teachings, but the central teaching of this pastime is Prem Vashyata, and that comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. 𝗙𝗃𝗃 Goswami says that Ishvara, Krishna, who is the controller of all demigods, now today he is controlled by love. And that is why in Vrindavan, in Vaikuntha, Vishnu is God, but in Vrindavan, love is God. That's sad. He is supreme, he is reigning supreme there. So, we are on the 4th verse now. Now Satyavrata Muni, after he glorifies the pastimes of Krishna in 1st, 2nd, 3rd verse, now he is praying. So Prabhupada says in one of his lectures, that's a system. You first glorify him and then pray to him. Like 𝗙𝗪𝗪, Chaitanya Prabhu glorifies 𝗤𝗏𝗪 and then he starts praying na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. So when you meet a great person, first it's like system is like that, no? You are nahi, say this, and then you come to the point, I want this. That's the point. Kunti Maharani prayers, she also first praises Namo Pankajanaabhaya, Namo Pankajamaline, and then she comes to the point, Krishna, please don't leave us. So here he's praying, Varam Deva Moksham na Moksha Vadimba. So this word varam means wanting, varam. So and this comes from the word, Hindi word var, vadhu. Var means husband also. So varam means wanting. So varam deva moksham na, I don't want moksha, liberation. Now this is very unique of Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, because all other Vaishnava traditions also, Madhva, Ramanuja, they all at least taught us that liberation is the aim of life, mukti. Oh, it's there. That mukti is the aim of life. But okay, I got it, yeah. But actually mukti, Mahaprabhu came in the scene and he said, no, mukti is not the aim of life. But the problem was, all Upanishad says liberation is aim of life. So he has to justify a statement. You can't just make statement anything, Okay, Mahaprabhu says, and liberation is not the aim of life. So okay, so what's your evidence for that? That's the idea. Tomorrow some other will come and he'll say, no, love is not the aim of life. Something else is there. So that was a problem, and they had to justify this fact, because Upanishads again and again they claim liberation, liberation, liberation. In fact, in Bhagavatam, this happened, Sarvam Bhattacharya and Mahaprabhu. So Sarvam Bhattacharya was reading Bhagavatam, and there it is said that Mukunda, that word comes. Anybody who takes shelter, he gets liberation. Sarvam Bhattacharya was annoyed. He came to Mahaprabhu, he said, I don't want this word liberation here. I'll cut this. Mahaprabhu said, no, wait, it's Bhagavatam. You can't tamper it like that. So Mahaprabhu gave another explanation of Bhagavatam, that verse. Mukunda means giver of liberation. So he says, this verse is saying, if you take shelter of Mukunda, this was not saying if you take shelter of Mukunda, you get liberation. This verse says, that you should take shelter of him who gives liberation. He changes that meaning. So, but that's Bhagavatam. But any proposal you have to give, you have to first justify and substantiate your statement by Upanishads and Vedas. So then he gave explanation. Yes, The Upanishads mention a sadharan riti. Sadharan riti means? No, general norm. General norm is, yes, the aim of life is liberation. So, liberation from birth, death, disease, old age. That's correct. We don't say that's not correct. But there's a special norm also in scriptures. And the special norm is that if you aim for love, you automatically get liberation. So we are not saying, we are not contradicting Upanishads that you don't get liberation. Liberation is not aim of life. We say if you want liberation, then if you aim for love, automatically you get liberation. That is 𝗦𝗍 riti, sadharan riti and 𝗦𝗍 riti. So Upanishads and Vedas give sadharan riti for sadharan, ordinary norm for ordinary people. But people who can understand scriptures and who can develop connection with him, then there is 𝗦𝗍, special norm. Special norm is okay, aim for love and you get liberation yourself. Automatically you get liberation. So that is why he says, Varam deva moksham na. Okay, I don't want liberation because he's intelligent. He knows if you aim for love, if you take sun, automatically you get light and heat. And that's, anyway, and that is, Mahaprabhu prays, no, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va 𝗙𝗪𝗓𝗃, mama janmana janmaneshwari. I want birth against birth, but simply I want your devotion. And Prabhupada writes there, in one of his lectures, Prabhupada says, devotee is intelligent. So if he asks Krishna, Krishna, liberate me from birth and death, he might not or he might. But if he says, Krishna, Krishna, I don't want to be liberated from this material world, you might send me to hell or anywhere, I simply want to serve you. Then Krishna will ask you when you are coming back to me. Because he will be attracted towards it. So this devotee, come on, he doesn't want anything. I want to be with him. If you want to be with him, it's his decision. But if he wants to be with you, you can't decide. You are back there. You can't stop. That's the idea. So, idea of asking him love and not liberation, this actually confirms our liberation, because then Krishna wants to be with us. He likes us. Oh, for me, he can go to hell. He is not asking anything. So, okay, come to me. I want to be with you. But if we ask him, then there's a problem. So that was all devotees, like Tukaram. You know Tukaram, Maharashtra? Krishna told, okay, now it's time to come back to me. He said, no. He said, I'm happy here. I'm glorifying you, chanting your names. So let's wait for some time. And then Krishna came again. He said, no, now I can't remain without you. You should come back. And then he said, oh, no, you are making some excuses. But then Krishna planned something. He said, no, I can't stay without you. So one of the version of Tukaram stories, there are many versions, but one of the version is, there was a drought in his village. And people were suffering and all this. And then he said to Krishna, Krishna, fine, everybody's suffering here, and now nobody's listening. People are, now I want to come back. I'm like, no, frustrated of this place. Krishna says, okay. He sent a plane and come on, before he changes his mind. That is why these rishis, they were not fools. That varam deva moksham na, we don't want liberation. They were not, who wants to stay in this material world, no? We are crazy. We are not crazy. This material world is the worst place for developing love for Krishna, because there's so many obstructions here, You tend to forget him in that sense. It's a big obstacle in path of devotional life. Birth, death, disease, so many problems. You don't want to stay here. But then people who know special riti, they can attain liberation quickly. By ordinary, it's very difficult. So, varam deva mokshamna, and then he says, moksha vadimva. Va means, what does va means in Sanskrit? Va means or. Sometimes it also means and. Here probably, but is or. Yeah. Ba means actually or. So I don't want liberation, or can also be used in sense of and. Liberation and moksha vadhim. Moksha vadhim means moksha plus avadhim. So avadhi means liberation, limits. Avadhi, time limit. Moksha means liberation. I don't want even the highest limit of liberation. And what is that? That is your spiritual abode, Vaikuntha. Prabhupada says in Gita, a devotee doesn't even want to go back to Golok. But here is the point. It doesn't mean that we don't want to go back. That's the point there. Otherwise, why would Prabhupada say back to Godhead? So the pure devotee doesn't want to go even back to his spiritual world. He simply wants to serve him. And in the process, he confirms his passport and visa for going back. So he gives this responsibility of going back to him, to Krishna. That's your responsibility. Whenever you feel like to stay with me, call me. If you don't feel like staying with me, then what's the point of requesting you take me back? No, is it? That is actually disservice. Is it? Some friend calls you, Prabhu, I want to come and stay in your house, and then you just block that and say to your wife, what is this? He's coming. It happens now. It's like complete nonsense. We don't want to stay with him. And then you say, no, Prabhu, you can come. That's okay. So you might go, but then it disturbs him, no? Like he doesn't want you there. He might not need you there. That's another thing. He might need you here. And that was so. I was reading I'm writing a book on reincarnation, no, near-death experiences. So Christian, he got a near-death experience. Near-death experience, you know this, no? So he got a heart attack and he left his body and he went up, and later when he came back he reported, and he went up and he saw Christ. That's very usual. He was a Christian. But the unusual part is, he said, when I went there I saw Christ and he was doing something. And he said he and all the angels were strategizing, making strategies, how to help people in this material world. So he said, you might think people there are like enjoying and be free and they have nothing to do. No, actually they are making strategies and plans, big plans. And then he went and Christ said, you know what, I need you there and not here. Go back and now spread this message and see what you have seen, tell people, and they get faith. So he has written a book, and that was nice. That might be the case. We might go back, we might pray, Krishna, please, if we want to come back to you, we go there. And then Krishna says, come on, I don't need you here. You should go back. You should preach. I need you there. And that is why devotee understands the mind of Krishna. And he says, Krishna, I don't want to even come back to you if that's not your desire now. And when you desire, then I can't be here. I will be there. So he says, I don't even want your abode, Golok. So that's how you solve that contradiction. When Prabhupada says a devotee never wants to go back to Godhead. And then he says, our life's aim is to go back to Godhead. That's how we solve that contradiction. So varam deva moksham na moksha vadhimba na cha anyam vrine aham vareshadapiha. So Krishna says, okay, so what do you want? Tell me. He says, na cha anyam, na, not cha matlab and, anyam, any other thing. Vrine aham, I don't want any other thing. Any other vareshad api, no, vareshad means no blessings I want. That's interesting. What they write vareshad here? Let's have a look. From you who can bestow any boon. I don't want any boon. That is very interesting, no? If you're serving some master and he says, you please ask me something, please ask me, you say, I don't want. I simply want to serve you. Prabhupada says, how much happiness he'll get. So idea of devotion is not to take, but to give. Prahlad also says, I don't want. anything for myself. I'm happy chanting your holy names. So that's the idea of devotion. We don't have to take, we have to give. Whatever we take is also to give. Most of our life, most of our devotional life is taking. If you make a diary and make 2 columns, take and give, your column of taking will become full. I take prasad from temple, I take association of devotees, I take holy name, I took books from BBT, I took Mridanga from Loi Bazaar. And what you're giving? And you put in that column, it will be empty, you see. Most of the time. So that column should be more than this column of taking. And then Krishna becomes happy. So Prabhupada's life was just giving. He gave Krishna Consciousness to his word. He gave his life for us. He gave his time for us. Is it? It was just giving. So but we take from Krishna to give him back. Just like Ganges water we take to offer back to Ganges. So whatever we take from Krishna, we mix it with love and give him back. That's what we do. That is offering. So he says, Krishna, I don't want anything from you, no blessings. I simply want, but Krishna says, see, something you have to ask. Something you have to ask from me. Now, if you tell Krishna, I don't want anything, then what's the problem? What's the problem? Krishna says, no, you should ask me something. And he will ask something from Krishna. But if you say, no, I don't want anything, but there's a problem with that statement. What is that problem? Can anybody tell me? Then you might think, see, I am such a nice devotee. I don't want anything from Krishna. Even if Krishna is saying, take something, I don't want. But there's a problem with that.
Some higher authority is there, then you should ask something, otherwise it's an insult to...
Okay. Yeah, that's the point, yeah. It is disrespect for him if you don't ask something from him. So if you go to a king and if you don't ask, people will say, this king is not charitable. So Krishna's darshan will fail. So whenever he gives darshan to somebody, he speaks to somebody, he always gives and come back.
Prahlad did not ask after the...
Yeah, but they asked. We always want to remember you. Something you have to ask. Something. But in that prayer, what you ask, that should be for him, not for you. That's the trick. Still you say, Krishna says you ask, okay, Krishna will ask you so that people in this world do not disrespect you. Whenever you come, you are like a king, you distribute. Okay, so what to ask? Okay, we want to ask that you should always remain happy. That's Vrindavan. So Yashoda Ma says, okay, blessings to you, Krishna. You always remain happy. So that is for him. That's interesting.
Actually, I just recollected, Prahlad Maharaj also asked that everyone of my friends should also... Prahlad Maharaj...
Yeah, everyone should get liberated. Yeah, he asked. So that's the idea. We should ask for him. And that is why he's asking now. Okay. Idam te vapurnatha gopala balam. Idam means this. By using this word idam, this shows that he's in trance. He's seeing. There are 2 words. There is idam and adaha in Sanskrit. If you say this, in English you said this. But in Sanskrit, there is idam and adaha and asau. This has 3 meanings. So asau means this. This is like your own thing, what you are wearing, Now this hand, my hand. This one, this. Adha means this in the sense of little away from me. Okay, this book. There's a distance. And idam means this which is very close to you. So this has 3 shades of meaning, you understand? So he says idam. Idam means this who is now in my mind. This Krishna. And damte vapurnatha, this form of Lord which is in my mind. Vapur means form, body. Vapuvani? Body. This form of yours, hey Nath. What's the meaning of Nath? Yeah, actually Nath means maintainer, master. But Nath, you know how it comes, this word. Nath comes from the word Nath. So animals, you put that, Nath, noose, and control it. That's the meaning of Nath. By saying somebody Nath, you are saying that you control me. And Jagannath, yeah. You control, that is the word Nath. And that is why if you go to Kashmir, you have Pashupatinath. Pashupatinath. So Shiva is special Nath, who controls Pashu. People who are like animals, ghosts. Yeah. So people who are ghostly, he's controller of that. It's called Pashupatinath. But our Krishna is Jagannath. He's like for humans, not ghostly people. Jagannath, and for everybody. So he says Nath. Nath means Krishna. Nath Gopala Balam. This form of yours, hey Krishna, let it always remain. Let Sada me manasi. Sada means always. Manasi means in my mind. Let it always remain in my mind. And so, what's the meaning of Avirastam? Let's have a look. They translate it as maybe manifest. So let this form may manifest. Avirastam. Avirastam means avirbhava. Avirbhava, astam. Let it manifest in my mind. I don't want anything. Kim anyai. What should I want? Kim anyai means what else should I want? What else? Is there anything comparable to your form so that I should even decide thinking what should I want? No. There's no question. You tell me, Kim anyai. You tell me what should I take. If you have a better choice, tell me. That's what he's saying. So there was one alwad in South India, and Krishna Krishna told him, why do you want me? You know what he answered? He countered question him. What option do you have? And Krishna was no answer. Krishna was defeated. Like that. That's what he's saying. Kim manyai. What else should I want, Krishna? You tell if you have some better option. So but why the word Nath there? He's saying, Krishna, I don't have the power to keep your form in my mind. I don't have the power because you are the controller. So you decide to enter my mind and stay there. You should come to me. Nayana Patagami. So you control my mind and then enter that mind. So he's asking for a big thing. So because if your mind is not controlled, Krishna will not come. So he says, Krishna, okay, fine, you do this. You become the means and the end both. That's the idea here. By using Nath word, and that's very important, he's saying, Krishna, you become the means and the end. Now you control my mind and come inside that. Don't say, I should control my mind and then you will come. That's not possible. That's not possible. So, that's why Krishna says, 𝗙𝗲𝗀 परित्यज्य माम् एकं शरणं व्रज. You surrender to me, and then I will control your mind, and then I will enter. So he gives you the milk, he gives you the glass. He is a means, he is an end. Just like a child goes to father, and he weeps. So father picks him up, puts him in his embrace and lap, and then he takes him wherever he wants. That's the idea. Krishna picks us up from the material world, he controls our mind, and then takes us back to his abode. So he will do everything. And that's why he's saying Nath. To bring up this philosophical point, he is both means and end. And that is what is Krishna consciousness. Krishna means and ends, but in different form. He becomes the means to us by chanting of holy name. No, he comes. He knows. You see, who can achieve Krishna? Who can attain Krishna? Who can see Krishna? What's the answer for that? Who can see him? A simple answer is only he can see him. Only he can see him. Nobody else can see him. Who can attain him? Only he can attain himself. Nobody has the power to attain him. So, now the point is, how can we see him? How can we attain him? So that's what Upanishad says. Yameva vrinute tena labhya. Nayam atma prabhachena labhyo. Prabhupada quotes so many times, no? Nayam atma prabhachena labhyo. Kathopanishad. You cannot attain him by lot of pravachan. Only by doing pravachan. Na bahuna shrutena va. You cannot attain him just by hearing about him. How then you can attain him? Upanishad says, Yameva vrinute tena labhya. Whomever he wants to give himself, whomever he wants that he should attain him, only he can attain him. There is no other way. So decision will not come from our end, it is coming from his end. Otherwise you can't do anything. No, that's altar, no? When altar closes, you can't do anything. Whenever he wants to give darshan, you have to come at that time. If you come other time, sorry, that's all. So it's up to him. And that's why he's using this word Nath. Krishna, you decide to purify me, and you decide then to enter my heart. Please do that. Please do that. Bhaktivinoda Thakur prays when chanting, Krishna, please purify me. And then he says, Krishna, please enter my heart. That's what he says. So our job is to serve him. Rest he will do. That's all. That's surrender. That is surrender. Rest he is going to do. So he says, Idam teva purnatha gopala balam sada me manasi ave rastam ke manye. You should manifest in my heart. What should I ask? And then the fifth verse. Can you just do fifth verse, Mataji? No, she's not there. So fifth verse is Idam te mukham bhojam atyanta nilair. Now Krishna enters his heart. Krishna is there in his heart now. Yeah. As soon as he is there. And now he says Idam te, now this form, now he's relishing that form. He's there inside his heart now. Beautiful, huh? So there was so we know this devotee, Bil Mangala Thakur, and he says in his book, what's that book? Krishna Karnamrit. Prabhupada quotes that in 𝗙𝗶, I think that verse. And he says, Krishna, now that you have entered my heart, try to escape. And he will not be able to. You see the power of my love. See, so great devotees, and they're so confident that Krishna cannot escape from their hearts. Yeah, he's actually challenging him. He's challenging him. You try to escape from my heart. Show it to me. Now you can't. And that's what Satyavrat Muni is saying in this verse. That is the undercurrent of this verse. And he's glorifying his form, and he's saying, Idam te. Now, by using this word idam, now Krishna, that you have come into my heart, this form, now you cannot escape. That's all, finished. Now you are finished now. You are a captive in my heart. Krishna likes that. So, idam te mukham bhojam atyanta nilar. He's actually praising his form, and he's saying mukham bhojam. Mukham means face, and ambuja means ambujam. What's ambujam? No, lotus-like. Ambuj. So he's glorifying lotus-like face. Krishna's body has many lotuses. You know how many lotuses Krishna's body has? Krishna's body has many moons. How many moons have Krishna's body? Moons means shape of moons. So he has 24 and a half moons. And that's what Chaitanya Charitamrita, Vishwanath Chakri Thakur, when he read Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said it has 24 half moons on his body. Moons means One face is his moon, one moon. His nails are 10 moons. It's like shape of moon, like that. His 10 moons are in his feet. So 20 to 21. So like that, if you count, there are 24 and a half moons. But then he couldn't figure out what is a half moon. What is half for? But then, and he decided to commit suicide. That is Acharyas. If we get some confusion, okay, we'll see afterwards. He said, I got this confusion, I can't even understand, I can't even decide why Krishna Consciousness Swami is saying this. Is he wrong? He got doubt actually. He didn't get doubt, but he was confused. Is he wrong? How can he be wrong? And then he searched. The point is, they don't speculate. They have to justify by Sanskrit. He saw all Sanskrit books, all coming 24, not 24 and a half. Or maybe 21 and a half, something like this. Half thing was the problem. So he searched, he thought, I'll commit suicide. But then in the night, when at the bank of Radhakund, he told, okay, I'll jump. Suddenly he got sleep, and Radharani came in his dream. And she told, don't worry, Vishwanath, now this Krishna Consciousness Swami is my eternal associate. He cannot say wrong. He's a gopi. And you consult this dictionary. She told the dictionary's name, and you will find 21 or 24 and a half moon. He searched, and there was a half moon, and that half moon is his forehead. That's a half moon, Krishna's half moon. So that is moons. And then there are lotuses on Krishna's body. Nectar devotion. Like for example, one lotus is 𝗪𝗂𝗪𝗶𝗹𝗪, eyes and feet. Feet, lotus feet. And lotus hands, navel is like lotus. So he chooses to pray now 𝗪𝗂𝗪𝗶𝗹𝗪. He's praising the lotus face of Krishna. Why? Because this pastime is focused on his face. He's weeping. There is atankam, there's fear in his eyes. So he's focusing on his face, and atyanta niler, and then he worships glorifies his hairs. They are like, his hairs are nila. Nila means blue, basically, bluish black. That's what his hairs are. You know what? When I went to medical school, so as soon as we joined, I was having kanthi. So this HOD, he said, okay, devotee of Krishna. I said yes. So he said, one thing, Krishna had a disease called as 𝗪𝗪𝗔𝗓𝗔𝗔. And I said, what is this? He said, no. He said some patients, when the hemoglobin is combined with methane, there's some problem, then they become bluish. So he said Krishna was bluish because he was suffering from 𝗪𝗪𝗔𝗓𝗪𝗔. Like crazy people. But he didn't understand. Later I read about Krishna. Like I read the descriptions. Okay, fine. You can accept it as one of the alternative criticisms. But then when I was reading this book, if you read this prayers, that word comes lasat kundalam. So lasat means shining, and kundalam means earrings. Now that Satyavrat Muni is saying that kundal, it is shining. Why? Because of the light emitted from the cheeks of Krishna. That's why it is shining. It doesn't have its inherent shining. Because ornaments do not make Krishna beautiful. Krishna makes ornaments beautiful. He is abhushana abhushanangam. He is ornaments of ornaments. So, and sometimes this. I think Kavikant Purn, he explains that sometimes when Radharani is with Krishna and she is talking to him, she suddenly starts criticizing him, and she says, who is this girl with you? And he says, come on. And because she can see her reflection in cheeks of Krishna. And then she is surprised, who is this another girl with you? And then she says, I don't want to talk to you. So his cheeks are like mirror. It's like mirror. It's not like us, dead. Like spiritual. And everything is reflected in his cheeks. Sometimes when devotees, nectar of devotion, when devotees see Krishna from far away, they can't recognize whether this is kundal or cheek. Because the light of cheeks is so strong that kundal gets faded. It hides in that effulgence. So he say atyanta nilair. It is blue, it's bluish in color. Prabhupada said to his disciples, why sky is blue? And the disciples were saying, because Prabhupada, that light gets reflected, whatever signs was said, no, because Krishna is blue. You read this? Krishna's effulgence is getting reflected in the sky. Vritam kuntalaya snigdha raktaischa gopya. So kuntala means curly hairs. Kuntal, curly. Your hairs are curly. Snigdha raktais. And what do you mean by this? Snigdha raktais. Rakta means red. And then what is snigdha? Yeah, snigdh and ruksh. That comes in Ayurveda. Snigdh, ruksh. Love is also like that. Prabhupada explains nectar of devotion. Love is of two types, snigdha and ruksha. So snigdha, Rukmani's love is like snigdh, soft. And we've seen Bhagavatam when Krishna jokes with Rukmani. He's just joking and she faints. And then he supports him and he says, come on, I was just joking, like. And then he says, if wife and husband doesn't joke, then what's the point of being married? But Satyabhama's love is ruksha. It is dry and hard. Of course, love can be dry and hard. That's another thing, but that is another realm of understanding. But she's like that. She's little of different character there. By the way, Satyabhama, who was Satyabhama? Satyabhama had two persons inside her. In fact, three people inside one body. One was Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi, another was Prithvi Devi, and another was Radha. All three were there in Satyabhama. That, in fact, Rupa Goswami explains. And Rukmani was Mahalakshmi, and then Chandravali. We know from scriptures, no? That's amazing, how one person has three persons inside, and then four persons. Karna, I was telling you, Karna had two people inside him. One was a demon. He was possessed by a demon. And the name is also there of that demon. That Madhva explains. And then one was Karna. Well, sometimes Karna was good and sometimes it was pretty bad, no? That explains, how when demon used to take possession, he used to forget everything. Even Krishna comes, get lost. When he was nice, okay, he was doing charity and all those things. That's, Madhva explains this. So, he says here, Vitam kuntalaya, it's curly, snigdha raktais. Raktais means red, snigdha means soft. Soft. Your hairs are so soft, and the reddish complexion of your ears, of your lips, and your eyes are being reflected on your hairs. So it is bluish red. Now you see, the point of this is how intricate details he's explaining. That means he has to be in trance. You can't just explain all these things just by reading books. That's impossible. You have to be in trance. What is being reflected on what? You see, he's talking about reflections. He's not just saying, okay, this is red, this is blue, this is lotus-like face. No. He's going in very details. And then he says, Muhus chumbitam bimbarakta dharamve. Muhu means, what does muhu mean? Can anybody tell in Sanskrit? It's there anyway. That's it. Anyway. Muhu means again and again. Muhur. You know this? Again and again. So again and again, hairs are chumbitam. They are kissing your cheeks. So you can imagine Krishna is slight wind is blowing and his hairs are Like by wind they are blowing and they are again and again kissing the cheeks. Bimba rakta dharam mein. And your lips are, bimba means lips, they are also like reddish. So Krishna has reddish tint in his body, many places. For example, his lips are red and nails are red and palms are red. Feet are red. What else is red?
The surrounding of eyes.
Yeah, here eyes, they are red. Besides him, it's red. And what is red? This is all in Krishna book. You should know about Krishna, no? We should know every, Satyavrat Muni is teaching here, you should know every detail of Krishna. His form, you should know. That is why Nectar of Devotion is written. Nectar of Devotion is a law book. If you don't know details, how will you meditate upon him? No? You can meditate upon him, his beautiful form. If you don't meditate on his form, you become formless. That's the idea. You become formless. You forget your own spiritual form. That's what 𝗙𝗪𝗎 𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗪𝗔 𝗪𝗂𝗏𝗪. If you don't meditate on his form, if you forget his form, you forget your form. That's exactly what it goes on. If you consider Krishna's body as matter, you start thinking you are matter. In bodily concept of life. Simple. If you think Krishna dies, you die. If you think Krishna is light, you become light. Impersonal. Light means your mind becomes impersonal. It is not focused. It is everywhere in this material world. So that is, whatever you think about Krishna, you'll become that. And that is in Bhagavatam actually. In Bhagavatam 11th canto, these yogis, Krishna says yogis, when these yogis are siddhis, no? Anima, Mahima, 𝗪𝗲𝗃. So you know the names of 𝗪𝗲𝗃? Nobody knows, come on. At least that you should know. Anima, Mahima, Laghima, Garima, then Bhakti, and then what else is there? Isha Vashita, what's that? Vashita, controlling, and then two more. So Krishna says the yogis, how they become light, lightest of light. How they. So Krishna says the process is they start thinking about Krishna. And Krishna is the heaviest of all. If you think Krishna is the heaviest of all, you become heavy. And if you think Krishna is the lightest of all, you become light. If you think Krishna can attain anything, you have that power of attaining anything by the yogic process. So Krishna is saying, 𝗙𝗪𝗎 मां प्रपद्यन्ते तां सते भजाम्यहम्. Whatever you think of me, you shall become like that. So if you think Krishna is materialistic, you become materialistic. That's what materialistic people think, no? And Krishna कह रहे तो लीला हम लीला ठीक है भैया तो लीला ही तुम्हारी भी लीला होगी. As it is. If you think Krishna is pure, you become pure. If you think Krishna is perfect, you become perfect. And that's why scriptures recommend to think about Krishna. Prabhupada says, no, caterpillar. A meditates on butterfly and it becomes butterfly. So that is why if you think about form of Krishna, then we can always remember our spiritual form. We'll remember we are spirit souls, spiritual form. Otherwise we'll forget. That's what he's teaching here. Try to analyze, understand and glorify his form, every details. Muhus chumbitam bimbarktadharame 𝗪𝗔 avirastam alam lakshalabhe. So 𝗪𝗔, in mind avirastam, this form should always be in my mind so that I can always glorify you. He doesn't want Krishna to come in his mind just for his selfish interest. He says, Krishna, you come into my mind and then I will always glorify your form. I'll keep on glorifying your form. So it is not to take but to give. That's the idea. Alam lakshalabhe. What's the meaning of alam? You know what's the meaning of alam? Anybody in Sanskrit? What they write? Do they write? Yeah, they write, okay. Alam lakshalabhe. Alam means useless. So I don't want 𝗪𝗲𝗪𝗲. Labh means benefits. Laksha means millions. I don't want any other useless benefits. I just want to meditate on a form. And that is devotion. That is
Laksha
millions of.
Lakshmi.
Hmm?
Lakshmi means
Lakshmi?
what? Laksha
Huh?
means millions. Lakshmi.
Me what I can't.
Lakshmi.
Lakshmi. Oh.
Is it correct?
Lakshmi. No, Lakshmi is like different. Lakshmi is different. Yeah, gold. But Lakshmi is different. It comes from different breakup. So 𝗪𝗲𝗪𝗲. I don't want any other useless benefits. So he's trying to explain us the best benefit you can. Gopis say, what is the highest benefit for the eyes? His darshan. Is it? And that's a verse. You know that verse from Bhagavatam? Anybody knows that verse from Bhagavatam? That the greatest benefit for the eyes is to see you. There's no other benefit. So beautiful verse. This verse is spoken by Brahma. This verse is spoken by Prithu Maharaj. Again and again and again and again and again. And this is your homework, okay? And see, this verse everybody should know. But with different mood they are speaking. And that's 10th canto. I'll give you this hint. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, somewhere like that. Yeah, Brahma and Gopis also speak. So that's what they say. So whenever you see Krishna, yeah, devotee is satisfied. I don't want anything else. That kind of realization we should have. Why should we have any other thing? And now he prays to Krishna and he glorifies him, his holy names. How to achieve this platform of always keeping him in mind? There's just one way. Namo Deva Damodara Ananta Vishnu. You have to take shelter of his holy names. Anant, Vishnu, see? So many names. But there's a sequence there. But first he sees Namo Deva. So how do you achieve that highest platform of going in trance and always seeing Krishna in your mind? Okay, you start with Namo, surrender. Start with surrender. Deva, and so the word Deva means? What does Deva mean? Come on. No, Deva means what? Yeah, God, no. God comes from Divya. And Div means light. Divya we say, no? And light also means knowledge. You know, you're enlightened. And light also means mercy. The divine light of mercy. You know? So light has many meanings. So here he says Divya. You surrender to him, you get knowledge of him, and you get his mercy. That's the sequence he's telling now. He's telling how to approach that platform. Okay, I'll tell you in one line. So anybody who asks you, if anybody asks you, how to get love, you just say, how to get love? Namo Deva Damodara Ananta Vishnu. This is what? This is what is the process of attaining love. This is what rishis were there, They were meditating for, Satyavrat Muni was meditating for millions of years, and then this prayer was revealed in his heart. This is not ordinary Vedas. Every word is placed at a particular place with a particular meaning. You can't change this. This is said by God. So Deva means what I told? Godly, light, godly, knowledge and mercy. So you surrender to him, and then after surrendering you take knowledge of him, you develop godly qualities, good qualities, and you attain his mercy. And when you do that, then you start chanting his holy names. You start chanting his holy names. With knowledge, with strength of his mercy. You're chanting previously also, but now you're chanting with knowledge, with mercy, and with good mind. Then his first name he says Damodar. And the underlying point of Damodar is, Damodar means, Udar means, and Dam means tie. So he says Damodar. Damodar means, Krishna, you tie me with your love. Me. So that's what I was explaining. Yashoda is not tying Krishna. If you think like that, that's you're mistaken. Krishna is tying her with rope of love. She will never forget this past. She will never forget. It's like Kunti never forgets, no? She remembers this pastime. And that's why he has tied her with this rope of love. So he says, Damodar, he says, so when we come to Krishna and we chant his holy names, that is, please take control of us. That's what I explained last time. Please exploit me. That is Mahaprabhu. All other acharyas says, control me. Mahaprabhu says, no, exploit me. That is a big thing, no? All other acharyas says, make me your servant. Mahaprabhu says, make me your slave. And there's a difference between slave and servant and exploit and control. Exploit means use and throw, no? Okay, use and throw. So Krishna, I'm ready. If you can use me and throw me, you're using His mercy, you're throwing His mercy. I'm happy in that, no problem. And if you can make me a slave. Slave means you use him, not just throw him, but first beat him and then throw him. That's slave, no? And I warned Krishna, you should treat me like your slave, and then I will be happy. Like Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya vowed. Advaita Acharya took a vow. If Chaitanya Mahaprabhu beats me, that is the success of my life. And he devised a plan. He started preaching Mayavad. You know this, no? He started. So have you read this book, Yoga Vasisht? Yoga Vasisht is Ramayan. And in that Ramayan, Ram is a Mayavadi. You can imagine? That Ramayan is instructing you Mayavad. So that was written in parallel to Valmiki Ramayana. And there is one more. So many people have written Ramayan. So in Ramayan, Ram is Mayavadi, Janak Maharaj is Mayavadi. And there's one Ramayan in which Ram becomes Jain Muni in last. They also have different Ramayan, Jains. And in the end, Ram becomes Jain Muni, Sita becomes Sadhvi, and everybody becomes Jain. So it's a funny situation. But anyway, he started preaching Yoga Vasisht, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he said, come on, what the hell you are doing? And he started beating him. And then Advaita Acharya was dancing and he was so happy. Yes, now I've got real mercy of Krishna. You know why? Because if somebody beats you, this means he considers you as his own. If he loves you, he might not consider him as your own, no? Just like we all love each other, devotees. But we don't beat each other. Beat your child. Because you think that I am his authority. It's my duty and he's mine, I can do anything, no? It happens, no? So just like when child becomes adult, when we grow up, so sometimes mother scolds us. And now we are adult, why are you scolding me? Then she says, you're always child for me. No? Why are you saying like that? Just sit. And then in India at least, America this might not happen, not India. In America, I was there in one house congregation, and his wife is American, and that Indian guy, and he was talking to his mother, and his mother was saying, "Kya tu bevkoof ho gaya, bakwas aise mat bol, chup reh." So then his wife was saying, "How can your mother talk like this? She's scolding you." So that's the idea, that scolding is good. It conveys a message of authority. Okay, she considers me as her object of everything for her, no? And that is why he says, Damodar, Krishna, please exploit me, please beat me, please do something with me so that I am convinced that you consider me as your own. So that I am convinced that you think I can do anything with this man. I can do anything with him. He will not retaliate. And that is why Kunti asks for sufferings, no? Kunti says, no? Let the vipada santu yatatvat. Let these sufferings come again and again. And that, the underlying thought is, if Krishna gives you suffering, that is 100, it is said by one of the poets, one of the saints, Islamic saints. And he says, if any time in your life you are getting sufferings, then you should be absolutely sure Krishna has planned for you to come back to Him. You're sure. Absolutely sure. Because He will not make somebody suffer unless he considers him as his own. Is it? It's like that. Strangers we don't scold. But our own. That is a very high, that is Damodar. That is the word Damodar. So that's why he's chanting Damodar. Okay, Krishna, use me. Ananta, and he glorifies his name Ananta. Ananta means? One of the meaning of Ananta is Ant and An, which has no end. End, no? He has no end. His mercy has no end. So he is praying to Krishna, Krishna, your mercy has no end. Your mercy can engulf anybody, whether his qualifications, no qualifications, is impure, pure. You extend your mercy to everybody just like sun. No limit. No limit of sunlight. It goes everywhere, no? So he says, Krishna, your mercy has no limits. Have mercy on me. And make me your lover. Make me a pure devotee. And then Vishnu. What's the meaning of Vishnu? Anybody knows? Vishnu? Come on. That's crazy. Come on, you know Sachin? What's the meaning of Vishnu? No? Come on. Nobody knows the meaning of Vishnu. Oh, you always chant Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. So Vishnu, Vishate iti Vishvam iti Vishnu. Who enters this word, Vishvam, Vishate. You understand the meaning? Who enters this word, he is called Vishnu. That is one meaning. Who enters the heart of devotees, he is called Vishnu. So Vishnu is the name of. When we say Vishnu, we think Krishna. We don't think Vishnu. Because he enters the heart of devotees. He is Vishnu. He goes there and stays there. By the way, there is another question. Okay, let me ask you. Why does Bhagavatam says Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya? Why not Om Namo Bhagavate Krishna? Om Namo Bhagavate Krishnaya. And that's what actually Sri Vaishnavas and Madhvas says. You see, you say Krishna is supreme, but Bhagavatam doesn't begin with Krishna, it begins with Vasudev. So Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Krishna is, Vrindavan Krishna is not supreme. We can accept Dwarka Krishna is supreme. He is Vasudev. This much we can accept, but Vrindavan Krishna, no. But then Vasudev means Vishnu, Narayan. That's one of the name. So Narayan is supreme. They argue like that. So what will you answer? What will we answer? Why does Bhagavatam say? Should be clear if Krishna is supreme. 𝗙𝗃 𝗪𝗲𝗃 𝗪𝗲𝗃 Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Om Namo Bhagavate Krishna. No, it doesn't begin like that. Why?
Is it because Vasudev represents the majestic, supreme majestic aspect of Krishna, and Krishna is the sweet?
No, that you are thinking like that. You are linking with Krishna. You can't just link like that, no?
It's son of Vasudev.
Vasudev, so then that's Mathura, Dwarka Krishna. But our thing is Vrindavan Krishna, he is supreme. For us, Vrindavan Krishna, Dwarka Krishna, Mathura Krishna, they are three personalities. Expansions, no? So Vrindavan Krishna is supreme. But that doesn't come in Bhagavatam, which is our scripture. Madhyastha Bhagavata Puran. That is the center of our life. Why Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya? Why? Because just like Vishnu word. So Vishnu is one of the name of Krishna. His name Vasudev to Vasudev. That's one of the name of Krishna, Vasudev. So Vasudev means, Vas means to stay. He enters the heart of his devotees of Vrindavan. That is why he is called Vasudev. So, the primary meaning of Vasudev is Krishna. The secondary meaning of Vasudev is Narayan or Dwarka Krishna. Primary meaning of Vishnu is Krishna. The secondary meaning of Vishnu is Vishnu, 𝗪𝗪𝗪 Vishnu. All these names are Krishna. And when Krishna expands into Vishnu, he thinks, okay, what name should I give to this person? 𝗪𝗪𝗪. It's okay. One of them, my name is Vishnu. and this is the name for him. You see like that? That is the names of demigods. Ganesh. Ganesh is one of the names of... You see, we also do like that, no? Your child... So what do you name your children? Damodar, Madhav, no? So whose name is it? Vasudeva. Whose name is it? It's Krishna's. You take Krishna's name and give it to them. So that's what Krishna was doing. He made demigods and he gave his names to demigods. So he gave, so that elephant demigod he came, and then Parvati was thinking, what name should I give? So she was thinking of Krishna. He has so many names. One of the names she thought Ganesh, and she named his as Ganesh. So Ganesh is one of the names of Krishna. And what's the meaning of Ganesh? You know this? So
like people, who's the Ishwar of the people?
Okay, yeah. So by the way, one of the name of Ganesh has three meanings. One is spiritual, one is scientific, and one is godly meaning. So I'll tell you first the scientific meaning of this word. Gana means mathematics. He's a lord of mathematics. Ganesh is a very expert mathematician, first of all. Doesn't seem like that. He's always in laddus, but he's a mathematician. So that's Gan. But another meaning of Gan is people. People. So people here means, for Krishna, who are people? Who are his own people? His own men. And who are those? Vrajvasis. So he is the Lord of his devotees in Vrindavan. That is what Krishna's name Ganesh signifies. And then Parvati thought, this name is good, let me name my child Ganesh on the name of Krishna, just like Damodar. And that is Shiva. That is why if you read Vedas, they are glorification of demigods, no? Agni Stuti, Ganesh Stuti. But actually that is glorification of Krishna, not Ganesh and Agni. We think it's demigod, but it's not like that. So that is why Adi Antecha Madhyecha Hari Sarvatra Giyate. In beginning, middle and end, only Hari is glorified. Nobody else. And that is why he says Vishnu here. So we should not get confused that he is saying Vishnu. So where is Krishna? He is Krishna and he is saying Vishnu. And then we might think he is in the mood of awe and reverence, and so he is saying Vishnu. No, he is in the mood of 𝗙𝗪𝗀𝗀𝗀 𝗪𝗀𝗀 नील కుంటలే స్నిగ్ధ. He's in different, he's in Raj Bhav. So even in Vrindavan, people can call Krishna as Vishnu. That's, if you read many prayers of Rupa Goswami, even gopis can call him Vishnu. But not in the sense of Vishnu, in the sense that his name is Vishnu, one of the name, Vishnu. So, you understanding the point? So it's not easy to understand Vrindavan, what's happening there. So he says Vishnu. So he says Krishna, Vishnu signifies love. Now you start with Namo, surrender. You start with the process, Deva, you get knowledge, you get mercy, you get all good qualities. And then you chant his holy names, Damodar, with a feeling, Krishna, you please control me. With a feeling you have to chant, please possess me, please exploit me. And then you, with that feeling when you chant, then you get Ananta. Ananta means limitless mercy of Lord. When you get that, then you get love, Vishnu. Because Krishna doesn't enter anybody's heart without love. So you see, surrender to love, from faith to love. This is a whole process in one line. Namo Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu, finish. So you don't have to, so that's why next time if somebody asks, what is the process to attain love? You can say, Namo Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu. You say, what? If you want to impress somebody, you can say this. And it's also good to remember these things. So this is called Paroksh Bhasha. So if I ask you, how do I attain love? You might say, okay, first surrender, then have faith, then bhajan kriya, anarth nivritti, ruchi, asakti, bhav, love. You'll start saying process. But this is a different style of saying how to get love in terms of holy names of Lord. You see? And then he prays to him now. Prasido Prabho Dukkha Jala. Now, when you attain love, then one unique thing happens. If we read Chaitanya Lila, very unique thing happens. And what's that unique thing? As soon as you attain love, Premera Sambandh Jaha, Premera Gandh Jaha, that Mahaprabhu says, wherever there is even a slight scent of love, there a devotee will think, I don't have any love. That's the nature of love. Premera Swarup, I forgot exactly. What is love? Love is that phenomena that when you get it, you will not know that you have got love. That is love. If you know that you have love, then you don't have love. So as soon as he gets love, he starts thinking himself as conditioned living entity. Jeev Abhiman. That is what is happening in 𝗙𝗪𝗪. You read Chaitanya Charitamrita, that's all there. As Mahaprabhu says, Trinadapi suni chena taroreva sahishna mamanina mandena kirtana sadahari. Immediately, when he says kirtana sadahari, he starts thinking, oh my God, I am useless. I am like an ordinary person. Love will make you think. And then he prays, na dhanam, na janam. I am fallen in this ocean of material existence. That is why sometimes it is said, you will never know that you have fallen in love with Krishna. Because if you know you're in love, then you don't have love. And if you have love, you will never know you're in love. Somebody says like that. So that is why himself as very ordinary person, because he has attained love of Krishna. That Jeev Abhiman, you know this word Jeev Abhiman? He starts thinking himself as ordinary Jiva. So why it is like that? Why when people fall in love with Krishna, they start thinking, I am not in love with him, an ordinary person. Why it's like that? Are they speculating or it's naturally happening? No, Krishna's Kaviraj Swami is saying, I am a worm in a stool. But he's writing Chaitanya Charitamrita. And so many people might be coming and praying him obeisances. Like, how can you adjust all these things? How does love make you conditioned? What's happening?
So, Krishna's love is infinite. Hare Krishna. Krishna's love is infinite, and whatever amount you get, there is an infinite thing to be achieved. So as soon as there is infinite to be achieved, and as soon as the person realizes, there is something which comes as love, but there is infinite, then he thinks like he's an ordinary, because he has not done anything in the life. So
okay, fine, I understand the point, but it needs a little more clarity. Yeah. Point. So as soon as the example is given, let's put example. When you're standing on the shore of the sea, I think it's so nice, no? It's so great, and you can even imagine in your mind, you can take a boat and cross that sea and go to the other shore. But when you enter the sea on the boat, really, and you go in the middle, then you are convinced it's impossible to cross that sea, and it's not that nice. It's just, you see, when you're in the sea, then you can understand the infiniteness of the sea. When you're standing on the shore, everything looks nice, no? Is it? Then you can imagine, I will cross the sea and this and that. And that's the point. When we talk of love, then it seems, when we get love, it'll be, I can understand it, and this is real love. But when you actually fall in love, when you go in the sea, I can't measure this. It's beyond my capacity to measure. And then immediately you become humble.
You don't even know how much progress will be.
Yeah. In the sea, or you don't even see the seashores, You can't even see where it ends, where it begins. You are just you're lost in the sea. So when a devotee is lost in the love, he's lost. That's all. Then that's one thing. That's why I start thinking, who am I? As soon as you experience God and His love, then you start thinking, who am I? I'm useless in front of that. In the night, a lamp is important. As soon as sun rises, absolutely no value. So until unless we don't get love, we think, okay. But as soon as we get love, we lose all importance for ourselves. We start thinking ourselves as ordinary. And Prabhupada also explains in one of his purports, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like that. So when you fall in love, then Prabhupada says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, okay Krishna, I am in love with you, but if I was really in love with you, then you would have given your darshan. But because you have not given your darshan to me, this proves I don't have love and I am sinful, and because I am not dying because of you, that is why I am an ordinary person. If you have got love for Krishna, you would have been dead without Krishna, is it? Otherwise, what's the meaning of love? I love Krishna very much, but I am away from Krishna and I am so happy. That has no meaning. So Prabhupada says in conversation, Mahaprabhu says, Krishna, if I would have really loved you, I would have been dead by now. Because I am here, you are in Golok. We are separated, no? And because I am not dying, this shows I don't have love, I am sinful. And that's how devotee starts thinking we don't have love. You see, that's the dynamics. And Satyavrata Muni, as he loves, he gets humble, and now he prays. Prasido Prabho Dukkha Jalabdi. Prasida means, have mercy on me. Prabho means, of course, master. Dukkha Jalabdi Magnam. Jalabdi means ocean of miseries. Dukkha Jalabdi. Abdi means ocean. Means water. Dukkha means miseries. Magnam means immersed. I am immersed in ocean of miseries. Krishna, please have mercy on me. This is how a devotee in love will pray to Krishna. This is the real prayer. So real prayer actually emerges from real love. Whatever we pray, that is, we are repeating, no? We are just repeating. That's good to repeat. But this is real prayers coming from love. And that Krishna likes. This is real humility, just coming from love. Love makes devotee humble. When sun rises, oh, who am I? Nonsense. When there was darkness, I was thinking I'm so important. But now when the sun has risen, sun of love, then there's no value. I'm useless. Krishna, please protect me. I'm drowning in ocean of miseries. And his miseries is different from our miseries. He's drowning in ocean of the miseries of separation and not in the miseries of material modes. That is very different. We are drowning in ocean of miseries of material modes. That's very, prayers are same, but meaning is different. Meaning is very different. For him, he is drowning in ocean of miseries of separation. Yeah. But before that, okay. Is there any verse in Srimad Bhagavad Gita which talks about separation? Krishna comes to save his devotees who are drowned in miseries of separation from him. Is there any verse in Bhagavad Gita? You understand my question? Krishna comes to save his devotees from the miseries of separation. Krishna comes to help non-devotees from the miseries of material modes and to save his devotees from the miseries of separation. Is there any verse like that? You don't know? Famous. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya sadurshkrita. Paritranaya means to save. Sadhuna means devotees. He comes here to save his devotees not from the miseries of this material world, because that's done. They are in love with him. How can any misery of this material world even touch them? It's impossible. But the miseries they are experiencing is, oh Krishna, we are so away, we are away from you, please come and give you the. That is Paritranaya Sadhuna. So it's there in Bhagavad Gita. So why I am telling you this is because every verse has different meanings at different level. Different level. So this line has a different level of meaning. This Dukkha Jalabdi Magnam, please save me from miseries. He doesn't pray, please save me from the miseries of this material world, because then that is not a good prayer, no? We don't pray to Krishna like that. Krishna, save me from the problems of this material world. This is not pure devotion. Then why is praying like that? Because that is misery of separation. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here, he is doing like that. So generally he's like that, no? Generally if you go to temples, he's like that. So why he's like that? Because he's saying Krishna, 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 Rakshamam. Krishna, please protect me, dying without you. That's what his prayer is. And here it is like this. Why is like this? Because he's saying, no, not take. He's saying, give me all your false ego. Give it to me. Give me all your nonsense ideas. Give me. I will transform into love and give it back to you. That's Mahaprabhu. Krishna didn't say that. Krishna says, you leave all your nonsense and surrender to me, no? 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗀 परित्यज्य. Here dharma means nonsense. You leave all your nonsense, surrender to me. Mahaprabhu comes and says, no, all your nonsense to me, I will change into love and give it back to you. That is why he is Namo Mahavadanyaya. Who can do that, no? Take all your nonsense, like recycling. He knows how to recycle. So he's like this, okay, give me. I'll convert into love. So that is Prasido Prabho Dukkha Jalabdi Magnam. This is beauty, this is love, this is absolutely love. Now this kind of prayer, even we cannot imagine to pray. First of all, where is misery of separation? First of all, where is attachment? Or we talk about separation. Misery of separation. You see, if you read these prayers, you will understand we are at no level. We are just thinking of our own life. Krishna, I am in this problem, my mind is uncontrolled. That's a top question. FAQ. How should I control my mind? If we are still struggling with this question, how can we even understand this platform? How can we even attain that love? Arjuna said Chanchalami Mana Krishna, but that is like, what's that? 6th chapter? That's 6th chapter. But then you have to 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. There are so many things. So forget all these things. Understand this. Come to this platform. Then Krishna becomes happy. How should I control my mind? That's very small. Prabhupada said this. I am not saying this. Prabhupada said in one of his lecture, anybody who is disturbed by his mind, his spiritual life has not even begun. Or even if you're disturbed with your mind, your spiritual life has not even begun. What to talk of end? You're still fighting. What to talk of love? You're in fighting. So, that is why these prayers, why we sing this in Kartik? To help us remember our goal. We are not just singing. We are remembering our goal, okay, like I am here, we have to go there. Now how to proceed? Krishna is reminding us in Kartik, okay.
Yamunacharya also says in one of his prayers, as soon as I think of sex, I would like to spit. So, I mean...
that he's actually teaching us. He's acting like a conditioned soul and teaching us. He's Yamunacharya. He's a different species, That's I would like to say. Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta, they're different species altogether. We are just like Americans are different species. Indians are different species altogether. They are different caliber of people.
Prabhuji, one question. About if we are struggling to control our mind rather than focusing on that, what else should we focus on?
Just focus on serving Him. Don't try to struggle, control your mind. You should understand you are not this mind. You are not this mind. Finished. Somebody asked Prabhupada, I am not saying, in small book there is answer. I think perfect question, perfect answers. You read Prabhupada, they ask, Prabhupada, how should we control our mind? Prabhupada said, what is a question of mind? Prabhupada said that. Where is a question of mind? Prabhupada said. You are not this mind. That's all, finished. It's finished, the end. You are not mind. Why do you want to control something which you are not? Do you want to control your neighbor? You are not. You're not your mind. Your mind is your neighbor. You're not your mind. That is the first teaching of Bhagavad Gita. So what's that verse? Senses, mind, soul. What's that verse? Gita? No. Indrevya paramana, manasastu parabuddhir, parasastu hisa, third chapter, almost last verse. Is it? So Krishna says higher than senses is intelligence, higher than intelligence is soul, and higher than soul is super soul. So that's all, finished. Control Maya, just forget this. Serve him, and he will do everything for you. That's surrender. He is a means, he is an end. That's all. This question should not be there. How to control mind? If anybody asks you how to control mind, you say, where is the question of mind? You're not mind. Don't listen to him. That's finished, that's all. I'm not concerned with that, that's all. So that is Prasido Prapo Khajalabdi Magnam. And now he's praying Kripa Drishti Vrishyati. That Kripa, Drishti means merciful glance. Vrishyati means I want that. Vrish, rain, Varsha. I want that. Kripa Drishti Vrishyati Dinam Vatanam. So he says, Krishna, okay, I want your merciful glance. So merciful glance means that Krishna has accepted us. Why is praying, Krishna, I want your merciful glance? I want you to see me. I have been seeing you throughout. He is seeing him in trance, no? His face, his beauty. But now he is saying, I want you to see me. I am seeing you, that's not enough. Yeah, that's not enough, I am seeing you. Just like you come daily, you are seeing Radha Madan Mohan. But he is seeing you, who knows? You might be here for 10 years, but he might not have even seen you. With love. Officially he sees everybody. Officially everybody, no problem. But with love, it doesn't happen like that. So with love he is seeing Prabhupada, Radha. So that's what he is saying, Krishna, yes, please give a clap, please see me once. And if you see me once, then I'll be satisfied. You have accepted me as. It's like that, no? It's like that. If suppose I'm giving this lecture and I don't see you, whole lecture, I'm seeing them, then what you will think? Come on, what happened? He's not seeing me. Is there something wrong with me? It's like that, no? So that's why he's saying, Krishna, please see, until unless you see me, the conclusion is something is wrong with me. And you have not, I have accepted you, but you have not accepted me. Then that's not sambandh, that's not relationship. He's saying, Kripa Drishti Vrishyati Dinam Vatano. Krishna might ask, why should I see you? Why should I see you? What's so special in you? And give me a list, what's so special in you? And you give him a list. Krishna added book distribution. I was eating prasad and chanting my 16 round. Krishna will say, okay, I'll give you a list back of Prabhupada and Dhruv Maharaj. I see these persons. What they did. So should I see them or you? And that he can do that. So, but he says, Krishna, yeah, your points are valid. Very logical. There's nothing in me to see at me. But there's one thing. Dinam. Dinam. No, English, what they put English as Dinam as? Let's see. No, actual meaning of Dinam, I will tell you. Deen, what they put it as? Deen. Yeah. They translate as fallen. Deenam. Deenam means patit. Patit. Deenhin, we say deenhin, no? What's that song? Deena hinera jana. that is Ramcharanmanas, that's okay. Yeah, in that Bengali song? No, Dina hina jata chilo, Hari Nama Sankirtala. That's. So Mahaprabhu gives mercy. Mahaprabhu gives mercy to Deen. Many songs it comes here. So Deen means fallen. So that Satyavrat Muni argues, he says, you look at me, not because I am super advanced. because I've done for you, but because I'm super fallen. That's my qualification. That's my qualification, that I'm most fallen. And that's why you look at me, because you are Patit Pavan. That's what Narottam Das Thakur sings. So, if you deliver me, then you will be glorified. So, you see, even in asking for deliverance, he's thinking of Krishna's glories and not about himself. It's absolute pure devotion. And that is why it is said in Vedas, when a person prays, Krishna, please pick me up, please help me, I'm so fallen. Then he adds one thing, Vedas, Rig Veda, there's a sutra. Rig Veda says, Krishna, please pick me up in a way in which you are pleased, not in a way in which I am pleased. There's a difference there. There's a difference. So, you might pray to Krishna, Krishna, please help me, please pick me up. And then you might think something wrong is happening all around, what's happening? I'm getting more miserable. But I asked him to pick me up and I should become happy. No. He can pick you up in a way in which you don't understand. That's the idea. And that's why he prays Deenam. Okay, fine. And so the idea here is, your glories, you will be glorified. So then please help me. Otherwise, what's the meaning of causeless mercy? Tell me. Then your Bhagavatam is wrong. So you are giving me a list of Prabhupada and Dhruv Maharaj and then I can put a court case on you, sue you on you. Your Bhagavatam is wrong. Why did you say causeless mercy? And that's what he is arguing with. In love, yeah. So Deenam Batanu. So, but the point is, you can say that I am most fallen and have mercy on me. But Batanu, batao. That's all. If you remember like that. So anyway, I'll tell you what's Batanu. Batanu. Yeah. It's Bata, actually Sanskrit, yeah. Alas, you tell me that's the idea. Alas, you tell me, You tell me, this is my proposal. Do you agree or not? That is how devotees talk with Krishna. And they please him. They please him like that. We don't talk to him, so he doesn't talk to us. That's simple. You never talk to him, no? You just come, pray obeisance, and okay, what's happening around? Finish. So Krishna says, then why should I talk to you? If you're not interested, why should I talk to you? So of course, says you should talk to him. How? Prabhupada said you should talk to him. You know this? And we talk to him. So Prabhupada says, when you chant Hare Krishna, what should you say to Krishna? Please engage me in your service. That's talking to him, that's all. That's all. If you talk to him, he'll talk to you back. So, hey Hare, please engage me in your service. Hey Krishna, please engage me in your service. If you don't talk to him, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, he will not talk to you. Simple. It's as simple as that. So, Deenam Batanu, Grahanesha Mamagyam Edhi Akshidrishya. And then he says, Grahanesha. So, what do you mean by Grahanesha? Grahanesha means this. Oh no, actually, that break is wrong here. It is Bata Anugraha. Anu has to come there. Gripa Drishti Vrishyati Deenam Bata Anugraha Nisha. Anu has to come there. It is Anugraha, it is not Grahanesha. So, but when you sing, you break it like that. Kripa Drishti Vrishyati Deenam Bata Anugrahanesha Mamagyam. You have to continue. So, Anugraha Isha. Why I am telling you that you should deliver me? Because you are the Lord of Anugraha. Anugraha means the Lord of mercy. You are the Lord of love. That is why you should have mercy on me. Agyam Edhi Akshidrishya. And this I'm Agyam. I can't understand anything. And that's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that I don't know religious principle, I don't know irreligion, I don't know purity, I don't know impurity. Krishna, you do whatever you want to do with me. Again, I'm ignorant. That Mahaprabhu says you should present yourself as fool in front of Krishna, not as fool in front of public. Don't do that. So you have to become intelligent to preach, but when you come in front of Krishna, okay, I am number one fool. Agyam edhi akshidrishya. Akshidrishya, edhi means become pleased with me. Akshidrishya means see me and become and give your vision to me. And see, I'll see you and you see me. That's the idea. So eyes to eyes, eye to eye contact. That is devotion of Lord. And this 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 Muni, then 7th verse, he just finishes there and he gives an example now. Krishna says, is there any example that I have delivered fallen people without any qualification? He says, yes. It is right there in this pastime. 7th verse is 𝗬𝗏 𝗪𝗲𝗪𝗲 𝗪𝗲. So there is example of not grief, no? 𝗬𝗏 𝗪𝗲𝗪𝗲 means two brothers, 𝗪𝗲. So there are two brothers of 𝗬𝗏. 𝗬𝗏 means 𝗬𝗏, Atma means son, 𝗪 means two. So there were two sons of 𝗬𝗏, Nalagriv and what who was it? Nalagriv. And you baddha murteva yadvat. They were baddha, they were bonded. A murti like so they were cursed to become a tree. And like a statue, murti means statue, standing in one place, cursed to become a tree. Yadvat. But until that time they were a tree, until the time you gave them mercy. Tvaya mochitau, you released them from that curse. Bhakti bhajau, you gave them bhakti, kritaucha. And that's what you did. Until that time they were like a baddha, they were like conditioned in form of tree by that curse. Them. And why did you deliver them? Did they have any qualification? They were cursed first of all. They were enjoying with apsaras, naked. They didn't understand religious principles. They didn't have love for you. But by your causeless mercy, you not only liberated them, mochitau, but bhakti bhajo, but also. So if you can do for them, why not for me? At least I was not dancing with apsaras, That's what 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 Muni might say. So why I am very fit? And that is why Prataparudra was saying to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You read Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prataparudra was saying, Mahaprabhu has taken incarnation to deliver everybody except me. Because Mahaprabhu was not meeting Prataparudra. He was a king. Mahaprabhu said, I don't meet kings. Devotee said, Prataparudra said, you're devotee, Mahaprabhu. You should meet him. Mahaprabhu says, but he's at position of king. And sannyasi meeting king, people will criticize. What sannyasi is doing with king? So I don't want to meet. So Prataparudra was very distressed. He was saying, to hell with this king. I will become a beggar if Mahaprabhu doesn't give me mercy. And that is why he was also feeling, why I am benefit of his mercy. That's why 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 Muni is giving an example. Okay, fine. Tvaya mochitau bhakti bhajau. You are expert at giving causeless mercy. So give me that causeless mercy. But you know what? He deserves also. It's not that now in the night we start praying, Krishna, now you give me mercy, causeless mercy. You gave him desire. He deserves that. And he has proven his deservance by glorifying his form previously, Is it? So we have to deserve what we desire. Prabhupada says, first deserve, then desire. And so when you follow all the orders of Prabhupada and all rules and regulations of Krishna consciousness, a particular standard is there, then you start deserving and you pray, and then Krishna gives mercy.
Prabhuji, one question. I usually have trouble understanding this. Causeless mercy means Krishna is not looking for even any qualification. Okay, you do this, I give you this. Is that causeless means?
No, causeless mercy is that we cannot understand the cause, but he can understand.
So there is cause, but maybe it is beyond.
There is cause, but it is beyond our understanding. That's why it's called as causeless. So he might give you mercy to instruct others. That's one cause, no? So like sometimes it happens, no? Sometimes kings, when suppose somebody does some theft, so king will take him in the middle of the bazaar, put him, and then cut their hand. No, in Islamic countries it happens. No, why they do that? Of course, there's a punishment for him, but to give a message to others. This is what is going to happen with you. Or sometimes Krishna might give you mercy, but the aim is not to give you mercy. The aim is to make others understand that I can give anybody. Don't be proud that you're doing more devotion, so I'll give you more, and he's doing less, he'll do less. I'm independent. That he can do. So you might be chanting 2 rounds, he might be chanting 16 rounds, and he might give you mercy first. Then you say, why is giving mercy? I'm chanting 16, he's chanting 2 rounds, he knew. But Krishna is giving you mercy to make him understand, don't be proud of your chanting. Otherwise I'll not give you. So we can't understand that cause. That is why it is said, causeless mercy. He's not fool to just... Otherwise if you say there's no cause, then he's fool number 1, Is it? Then you don't know. So causeless also means when a king is very happy, he just distributes his wealth, That example is given. If a king goes to war and he wins the war and he comes back, then he just distributes the wealth. Anybody who comes, okay, take it, because he's very happy, is it? In happiness, you don't see anything, Just give. Like for example, in MBBS exam, then you top, suppose you top, IIT or MBBS. And then you come back and anybody asks you, Prabhu, can you give this? Yeah, take it, no problem. I'm so happy I have got top in the whole world, I am topper. So just take it. Then you will not ask any questions. So that is the cause of mercy is love. Also there. So we can't understand what's the dynamics happening there. That's why it's called causeless mercy. Okay, don't try to think about cause. He knows what he's doing. So that is there, tatha prema bhaktim 𝗪𝗂𝗍 𝗪𝗂𝗪𝗀. So Krishna, I ask tatha prema bhaktim, I ask that kind of love, 𝗪𝗂𝗍 𝗪𝗂𝗪𝗀. 𝗪𝗂𝗪 means I want that, 𝗪𝗂𝗍 for myself. May means myself. I want this kind of prema bhakti which you have given to 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪, sons of 𝗪𝗪 and other devotees. Please give me that. You see the point of eagerness. He's eager to attain that love. That's what I was talking yesterday. If you're eager to attain anything, you will get it. Even in this material world, And that's why people say, entrepreneurs, the secret, that that book, The Secret. You start thinking and you're thinking and you'll get that. It's like that, you've seen? So that is why we should be eager to attain that mercy, and he'll give. And that happens, That happens. If a child comes and he says, I want chocolate, Mama will say no chocolate. And then he comes again, I want, no. And then he starts weeping. And mother says, shut up, you will not get chocolate. And then he lies on floor. It happens like that, Sometimes they lie on the floor in the middle of road. And then they say, chocolate. And then mother is like, come on, just give him, that's all. He's a nuisance. So that's the idea. We can create nuisance for Krishna. Krishna, we want love, we want love. And then Krishna will say, my God, he's a nuisance, give him love, that's all. Finish it off. My brain. That is devotion. So you eat his brain, that's all. You create a mess for him. Mahaprabhu was doing that. That's what he was teaching us. Just be after him. I just want love. Na moksha grahon mein asti Damodar. I don't want liberation. I don't want this. I just want chocolate. And if you don't give me, I'll weep. I will bang the floor. I'll bang the walls. And I'll create a mess for you. You will not sit peacefully unless you give me peace. You give me love. And that is the idea there. That is called eagerness. Of course, we don't want to make a nuisance for him, but that nuisance is spiritual nuisance, Krishna likes, okay. If you can create that kind of nuisance for Krishna, your life is successful, but you will not be able to do that. That is difficult to do. That eagerness to attain love of God. And then Satyavrat Muni finishes here. Satyavrat Muni says, if you want to get that eagerness, if you want Krishna and devotion like 𝗙𝗹𝗹𝗀 Muni, the only thing is Namaste tu Dhamne, Swarat Dipti Dhamne, Todiya Darayatha Vishwase Dhamne, No Radhikaya Todiya Priya. You have to take shelter of Radha. And where is Radha in this pastime? The rope represents Radha. Yashoda Ma is tying Krishna. That rope is Radha. Even Yashoda cannot tie Krishna. Only Radha can tie him. There is no other way. So that rope represents Radha. Nobody has a capacity to tie him. Only Radha. Anybody who wants to tie him, they have to get mercy of Radha. So that is why he says, this rope, Namo Radhikaya Todiya Priya. She is very dear. And Radha, who is Radha? Namaste tu Dipti Dhamne. Dhamne means binding. So Sfurat Dipti Dhamne. Dhamne means his dham, that waist. Waist is like a dham, which is effulgence, and that is bound by dhamne, that is bound by the rope. And that stomach is having Vishwasya Dhamne. It is a abode of all universe. His stomach, whole universe is there, and she tied. And who is that? Radhikaya Todiya Priyayai Namo Ananta Leelaya Devaya Tubhyam. So Krishna, I offer obeisances to all these infinite pastimes, which actually can be accessed by the mercy of Radharani. There is no other way. And that is why we sing Hare Krishna. So he ends there. Kurat, where is that? Sfurat. Sfurat means to Sfurit. Sfurit hona? No, Sfurit you don't understand. To kaise kahenge yaar? Let me see the meaning and tell you. English is Sfurit hona. Matlab effulgent. Sfurit. So that rope is very effulgent. And your waist is effulgent. Dipti Dhamne. That's what he's saying. Unto the effulgent abode. The rope ties the effulgent abode of Krishna. Verse. So that is Srimati Radharani, who can tie Krishna, who can control Krishna, who controls entire universe. Nobody else can do that. That is what he says there. Even Yashoda cannot. So there is a secret in this Damodarashtakam. It seems Yashoda has tied, but not. This Srimati Radharani has tied him. The secret. But he doesn't reveal it. He just hints it in the end, because that's a secret. What? Yeah. Oh. Yeah. There's a commentary written by Sanatana Goswami. Okay, so that's about Damodarashtakam. Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai, Radha Damodar ki jai. Okay, yeah, you can ask and then I'm done.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, I wanted to ask about Radharani's mention in scriptures. I have also heard that her name as Radha wasn't revealed until 10th or 11th century.
So many scriptures. For example, so any scripture Radha is mentioned. Example, anybody? Come on. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Give 4 scriptures names. Radha is mentioned. Yeah. So what's the okay? So what is the first 4 scriptures you will put in the list? Except Bhagavatam, forget it. First 4 scriptures. What do you put? Garg Samhita, full of Radharani. And then Brahad Naradiya Puran, full of Radharani descriptions. And then you fill next to. Rigved Parishisht. Rigved mentions Radha. Radha Madhav Radha. Jiva Goswami quotes. Rigved mentioning is a very big thing, no? And then Upanishads, Chandogya Upanishad, it gives mention to Radharani. Shama Shabalascha, Shabalas Shamacha. Shama is the name of Radha. Sham is the name of Krishna. So these are 4 authoritative scriptures which you can quote. There is Radha all around, everywhere.
And, So Bhagavatam doesn't mention because
Bhagavatam
Shukdev
doesn't
goes-
mention, we know that. 𝗪𝗲 Goswami would have just mentioned. He had to finish 7 days, but he would have been trance for 6 months. Parishit might be just waking up, come on, I'm dying. Do something. He didn't mention.
Thank you.
But he mentions it secretly. So 10th canto begins with this Rama Akrida Bhoop, that Rama word. There's Radha there. Or then he mentions Radha as Aradhana. So he mentions, but it's not there like that.
That's one question. We see lot of Barsana gangs which come up with Radhe, Radhe, Radhe.
Yeah,
types.
Radhe, Radhe.
So it's very important at this point of time when we are discussing Radharani's mercy.
So,
that the people who become like only we'll worship Radhe and
see, I have to tell you, according to strict Gaudiya Vaishnavism, we only worship Radha. That's absolute. We can't hide this fact. Bhaktivedanta Thakur says in one of his 𝗦𝗲𝗪, he says, anybody who worships Krishna without Radha, I don't want to see his face, even if he's pure devotee of Krishna. I don't want to see him. Because without Radha, there is no question of Krishna. So it is also said, we are also Shaktas. You know Shaktas? Durga? Bhakti Sanda used to say that. So we don't worship Shaktiman, we worship Shakt. So we are very much biased towards Radharani. That's for sure, our Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. But at the same time, at our level, this doesn't work like that. The goal to be biased for Radharani. Because that bias for Radharani, it's a gift, it's not imagination. We can't just imagine and speculate in our mind, okay, Radharani is everything. Without Radha, I don't want even Krishna. That's Raghunath Das Goswami says also, Bhaktivedanta Thakur. So that kind of sentiment Krishna will give when we worship both of them together. No, Radha is there in the mind of Jagannath. He's there, he's always there. That's why his form. Actually, Radha is more there. She is in the mind of Balram, she is in the mind of Subhadra, she is in the mind of Jagannath. She is very much there. She is there. Okay, so any other question or we'll stop here? It's done.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, usually in this human form of life, we are trying to get rid of all our anarthas and approach Krishna. So, according to the bodily nature we have got, so a female may have to be approaching Krishna and a male may have to be careful while approaching Radha.
Why?
The mundane conception of male female should not come
Actually,
into
maybe you're
picture.
right, because I've seen many times in temple pujaris, and there are many problems happening. So anyway, I'll not go into that. But
so, Prabhu, how do we go beyond these?
you read about them. You have to get knowledge. Who is Radha? She's not an ordinary girl. Who is Krishna? They are not ordinary people. When you get knowledge, then these things, mundane thoughts, they get over. So we have to get knowledge of their greatness now, not their sweetness. If that's a problem, and that is a problem, so that's why Prabhupada says, you understand how great they are. Don't read Ras Leela, don't read all those. Your mind will get contaminated, no? So the more you understand their greatness, the more all these conceptions go off. So do some research, see who is Radha, how great she is, and things go off.
Thank you.
One question, Prabhuji. Your presentation on Damodarashtakam is actually very different to what I heard. Like, I think you pick a word and you give completely different meaning and so much relation. Develop that habit when we are reading others.
Oh, that habit.
Do we need to refer Acharya's commentary?
No.
Or should we just listen to your lecture?
Everything, you can listen to my lecture, that's okay. But the point is, when you chant, you read this and pray to these verses. Pray, don't just read. When you pray, Krishna will reveal the meanings. And it's there in Prabhupada books. I am quoting Prabhupada so many times. It is there in his conversations. Prabhupada, what he does, in some of his lecture, he might just say, okay, 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗪 Bhakti Bhajau, and then he gives some commentary. So when you read everything, then you will be able to connect the dots. Then it will come. Because even if you read commentary, you will not understand anything. I have seen that. It doesn't happen like that. Because those commentaries are complex and very theoretical. So, but if you read, advice is contemplate. Mananam. So we were talking yesterday. If you want to, don't just keep on reading. The trick to learn is don't learn. That's a trick, by the way. Trick to learn anything is don't learn. Stop learning first. Whatever you have learned, process it. And that's a problem in computer age. You got all your data in that 2 TB, 3 TB, 4 TB, और data बढ़ता जा रहा है, आपका data हो रहा है, कुछ नहीं हो रहा. Okay, what will happen, it's in a computer, it's not in a head. So this is the worst invention. This hard data, folios, it's an illusion, no? I know. And then whenever you want to read, then you search and there is whole thing, all masala is there. And you start reading many points and then become khichdi. So, Shravanam Mananam, read little. Close everything. Think, and pray, Krishna, please reveal what is there. And then you start understanding. That's the process. That's how previously people used to do. But now this is more information, more deformation. That's what. It's what do you say? Information explosion. It's an information overload. That's what is happening. And of course, you need association of devotees. So, how I explain another devotees? You read, you hear, and then slowly you start working. Not in width, but you'll go in depth. That's why I present my lectures, to take you in, to make you think, go deep, not wide. Most of the things are wide, lectures. They take you wide, different. No, take one thing and go deep and understand why they are saying Vishnu. Okay, let's understand. If you don't, so you might not be able to figure out answers, but you will come up with questions. That's the point. Okay, when you think, you might not have answers, but you will come up with questions. And once you have questions, getting answer is a matter of time or matter of finding some person whom you can ask. That's all. But if you don't have questions, then you don't have answers. So that's how I suggest. My suggestion is 3 things. Please read Prabhupada books nicely. His letters, his conversations, there are many hints in conversations. Prabhupada mentions many of these statements in his conversations, in his morning walks. No, conversations actually. And his morning walks also. So sometimes he mentions something, and then when you read everything, then things will come. So that's one thing. Read Prabhupada books. Don't keep on downloading things. Shravanam Mananam, start contemplating. Know little, but know it properly. And when you meditate, you will have questions, write them, and ask some proper person. Okay, these are the questions. And then knowledge bank increases, otherwise nothing will happen. A mind will not become a library, it will become a dustbin. That's all. Everything, but nothing. Okay, so.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. As part of the next program, we'll have Srila Prabhupada Puja, Guru Puja, and then we can have Damodarashtakam also after that, yeah?
Okay, so thank you very much for hearing. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
His Grace Keshav Anand Prabhu ki jai. And His Grace Keshav Anand Prabhu is a avid writer, and he has written many.
Can you bring that book?
And we are very fortunate that Prabhu speaks English and Hindi. Some of us, yesterday we were at Ashok Prabhu's house, Ashok Narang Prabhu's house, and many took audio lectures in Hindi because they felt that they feel more connected with the bhasha. Prabhu puts a very humorous conversations in describing very complex subjects in very easy way. So, like one of the book name is 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗀. So we were just discussing why Prabhu came up with the name like that. So,
I'm releasing one more book, and the name is 𝗦𝗀𝗍𝗪 के पीछे अंधे. And one more book, 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗀𝗪𝗏 bhai. Everybody's chor, So anyway, these are interesting names. So this is what Damodar Prabhu was telling. This is one, you were asking, you have to listen. So anyway, this is seminars on Bhagavad Gita, whole Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, many of the prayers, 𝗙cie𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗪. This is in English, 136 hours of lectures, and it's in pen drive. You can listen in car, and pen drive is then yours. That's one thing. And many video lectures also of seminars on various topics. And this is in English, this is in Hindi. So anybody who wants, they can always take this and have a look. You can take this. And I've written some books. If you want that, at least for demigods, I should show. Yeah. Many of them, yeah, okay. So, there is one book, Crazy Ideas, which have that names, So, because we have so many crazy ideas, I was talking now, this. So, this is a book which will help you to preach. Many people ask you many questions, no? Many questions. Okay, why do you believe in Krishna only? Why not Ganesh? Why not Shiva? Just like I told you this logic, these names are names of which he give to demigods. So this, I have put so many ideas, confusions which people have, and their answers. Not just from Prabhupada books, but from Western philosophy, Indian philosophy, Vedas, Upanishads. So it gives you a broad idea. Otherwise, if you just quote one thing, people say you are sectarian. That's Prabhupada. What about other Upanishads? So that's why I've written the book, to give you a broad idea. And this is one book for devotees, Mighty Efforts, which I have written. With whatever I was talking today, everything is there in this book. And more devotion in depth. How to advance, how not to fall down. There is one book, Science Fails to Explain Life. And I've already explained you. Talking about life, genetics, in an easy way. So in America, when you talk, you need to have knowledge of some science. Even to children, when you talk, you have to have scientific background. So this will explain you what is life, how it is. And then these are two books, Guru Kaun, और ये दो किताबें, Guru Kaun, Gita Sar Ki Talwar. If you want to know Gita in nutshell, this is a book. और Guru Kaun है, शिष्य कौन है, Guru का कर्तव्य क्या है, शिष्य का कर्तव्य क्या है, everything these books are talking. So you can take this, and this is पागलपंथी, what he was saying. That's all. मैं आज़ाद हूँ, सुनो सबकी करो मन की, पूजा कर्म की करो, सेवा समाज की, न मूर्ति न साकार, निराकार ही रहे बरकार, ध्यान लगाओ लीन हो जाओ, थोड़ा योग करो थोड़ा भोग. These are all पागलपंथी वाले आइडिया इंडिया में. So you can read this, and thank you very much again. If anybody wants this book, they can come to me, and if they want to see, no problem, you can have a look. Hare Krishna. And tomorrow also I am giving lecture, I think so. Yes. Sunday feast. So people who are online, if they want these books, tomorrow you can meet me after Sunday feast. There will be books and they can have it. Hare Krishna.